Recent fragrance purchases, I would give a perfect 10 out of 10. Apparently, I don't feature enough new fragrances on the channel. I have seen the feedback and I am hurt. But at the same time, I kind of know what you mean, guys. I would say I'm a little bit burnt out, honestly, from doing social media. Social media is a tough game. It is a grind that is never ending, really, because you always have the algorithm to be appeasing essentially at all times. So being a content creator is quite tough, hence why we're actually going to expand the channel, guys. School of Scent is going to change a lot. You may have already seen what I mean by the time this video is uploaded. We're not just going to have myself doing content creation anymore. And yeah, we've got some exciting new team members who will be joining us very soon, so stay tuned for that. Right now, I'm really focusing on Atrium, guys, so it makes sense for me to slowly start stepping away from social media. Of course, I'll still carry on doing videos, guys, don't you worry, but I have been on School of Scent now since 2020, I think 4 years now, so I think it's about time I take a little bit of a back seat and focus on Atrium, which has a lot of new exciting projects going on for it right now, so stay tuned also for that. In this video, I'm going to be talking about fragrances I acquired recently. I purchased these fragrances that I would say are a perfect 10 out of 10. So a perfect 10 out of 10 for me on this channel, I always say it's more of an objective criteria than a subjective one. I say that the blend has to be really nicely done. The ingredients have to smell expensive or good quality. The performance has to be at least 8 hours of longevity. Doesn't really matter about projection, in my opinion. Wearability needs to be at least 3 seasons, and then the price tag has to be fair or excellent. So going through this criteria, I have 7 fragrances here today, guys, where I'll explain why I'm giving them a 10 out of 10. Some of them I'm being a bit cheeky, if I'm being honest with you. I'm kind of squeaking out a 10, but you'll see what I mean in a second. But yeah, these are really excellent recent purchases I've made. Some fragrances I've been trying to get for a long time. I've talked about them on the channel, but I didn't actually acquire them. Some of them are brand new for me completely that I just happened to stumble upon and you know, got a full bottle very shortly afterwards. So hopefully this video kind of introduces you guys to new fragrances, gives you more exciting new concepts to go for. And there's also quite a lot of different styles in these 7 fragrances as well. So there should be hopefully something for everyone. Let's begin. First one I'll start off with is Guerlain's Homme Eau de Parfum. This is a fragrance I've been meaning to get for a long time. I smell it in duty-free airports all the time, and I've always fallen in love with it. Such a beautifully, smoothly done, versatile fragrance. If you're tired of blue fragrances and you want a new kind of signature, one that has that classic Guerlain elegance, that smooth blend, beautifully done, focuses more on a note like mint in here. It smells like a fresh, musky, balanced mojito cocktail. This is a super interesting signature and one I've loved for a long time. As I said, I've smelled it many times before. It's minty, cooling, fresh, refreshing, and just super interesting and unique. I think this is the kind of fragrance for a man who really puts himself well together, but can be used for any age group. That's the beauty of Guerlain. They kind of really smell niche, but at the same time, they're like designer friendly in the way that everyone can really appreciate them and really love them. I think you can use this all year round. I think its weakest season might be wintertime, but you can wear it all year round, especially in the office or workplace or school. And the only issue with this fragrance is I get around 6 hours longevity. So it's not a perfect performer, but I will say it's a perfect 10 out of 10 if you just overspray, over-apply, and apply lots on your clothing as well. You'll get all day longevity from this fragrance. So I'm glad to have this in the collection finally. If you want to get out of that blue fragrance rut a lot of people are in, this is a fragrance to do it for you, and it's very affordable really for what it is. The Labo's another 13. This fragrance may not smell perfect when you smell it, but for the style it is doing, it kind of is perfect. It's not a complex blend, it's a simplistic, minimalist fragrance, meaning it's a fragrance that focuses on a few aroma molecules, really mass appealing, easy to love notes like Isoi Super. There's probably some Ambretolide in here, some really interesting, probably expensive musks in here. This lasts a really long time because of these expensive smelling musks. That kind of smells like freshly pressed ironed clothing, in my opinion. That lasts over 12 hours. This is a really long lasting fragrance. I know it's a 50 ml for 180 pounds. Some people may protest against that, but 2 sprays of this lasts on me over 12 hours. I can smell it quite easily. So 50 ml will go a long way anyways. So I think it is the best fragrance from the brand. Usually I'll give it a 9 out of 10, but for this video, I'm gonna squeak it out again. The blend is not perfect, but I think it kind of is for what it's trying to be. It's not like a really complex blend, like it's mind-blowing, but it's kind of the sweet spot for what you're looking for a minimalist molecule-based fragrance. For those kind of guys who want a signature that's really sexy, it's a unisex fragrance overall, but it kind of just melds well with your pheromones, your own skin chemistry, and it will probably produce a different kind of appealing scent DNA for everyone. I feel like this is the kind of fragrance that'll get you a lot of compliments. Another super interesting signature you can wear all year round. And I would say this is, to me, seems like an upgrade from someone who likes to wear something like Eccentric Molecule 01, which is just one molecule. This is more complex than that, but still very easy to love. 32% of people who watch School of Scent are subscribed to us. If you guys want to see our channel grow, to really help us out, click subscribe. Let's get that number to 40%. Thank you. Valentino, Uomo, Born in Roma, Coral Fantasy. These names are getting more ridiculous with each release. I can't remember them anymore. But Coral Fantasy is a really nice new release. I think I actually got put onto this fragrance by one of our TikTok reaction videos. A lot of people kept saying this is great, got really good reviews on Fragrantica. I looked at the note breakdown. I don't think the note breakdown really represents what this smells like, because you look at that and you think it's gonna be a tobacco fragrance. I'm wearing it now on my wrist, but really it's more like a fruity, musky amber scent. It's more like they've taken that Invictus kind of style of bubblegum perfumery and mixed it with something like Tommy Hilfiger's Impact Intense. Deep, woody, red apple perfumery. So if you like a nice fruity red apple fragrance that smells super sexy, I think this line in general just knows what it wants to be. It's designer mainstream perfumery, youthful, very casual. I think if you want a youthful, casual scent you wear all year long, Coral Fantasy might do it for you. I get 6 to 8 hours with a medium amount of projection. I think you can wear this any occasion. I know someone who wears this for clubbing, for example. I think that fits it perfectly. So I think if you're a young guy, you want a new signature fragrance that'll get you a lot of compliments, this is a great fragrance for that. For this kind of purpose and what it knows it wants to be, it really is a 10 out of 10. It's 6 to 8 hours, so again, squeak it out a bit more by that performance by just like overspraying on your clothes and just over applying in general. But I think this is a fantastic designer scent. This is not my style, but I know pretty much everyone will enjoy this. It's not something that I think anyone will hate. It's very, very easy to like this. So let's say you do like blue fragrances, you want to stick around with them, and maybe you can try this out instead. Floris's Santal Intense. Again, Floris is a brand that I kind of walked into their boutique recently in central London to kind of explore them a bit more. I knew about a few of their signatures, like number 89, I think is a classic. They're a very old brand. It's been around since the 18th century, like really old school stuff, old money, guys. And they're very classical, gentlemanly, London-esque. Santal, I think, was one of their fragrances that came out recently in 2022. Great interpretation of them on the blue scent, on the blue category. It's like they took the very mass appealing blue DNA from the industry right now and made it niche. It smells to me like photorealistic spices with a sandalwood in there, with a blue fresh out of the shower aspect in here. Very beautifully done, smooth, elegant perfumery here. For the kind of guys who enjoy fragrances like Bleu de Chanel Parfum, this is the kind of release you should go for. The Santal, unfortunately, wasn't a great performer. It was around 4 to 6 hours. And then in 2024, I think it's come out a few weeks ago, they made it Santal Intense. I got a sample, bought the sample from their website, and it lasts at least 8 hours. They fixed the problem. It doesn't really change from the original. The scent profile is pretty much the same. I think the notes are pretty much the same. And I think all they've done is just increase the concentration to improve that performance. So this is signature material. I think this will be up and coming. A lot of people in the community will talk about this. You heard it here first, guys. You heard about this fragrance first from School of Scent. The new fragrance I'm featuring here, I've already featured a few times already, but you know, I'm really emphasizing this, guys. If you want a new niche level, easy to love blue fragrance, you go for Santal Intense by Floris. Go check it out, guys. I still think most people can buy, whatever countries they're serving on their website, you can go buy their sample for this. So go ahead, guys, get a few samples from Floris, try them out. Santal Intense is one of my recommendations, definitely. And then another boutique I ran into in central London recently, I was just walking through, unintentionally, I walked into Marc-Antoine Barrois boutique near Kensington. And a lot of people talk about Ganymede from this brand, but actually I fell in love with this as soon as the store assistant sprayed it on the back of my hand, and I acquired a full bottle very shortly afterwards. That is Marc-Antoine Barrois Encelade. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is a fragrance I don't really hear people talking about that much, and it doesn't even get that much love on Fragrantica either. I think this is a 10 out of 10. But it won't be a 10 out of 10 for everyone. And I think it's one of those fragrances you should definitely not blind buy. It's one of those fragrances when I sprayed it on the back of my hand, I knew it was meant for me. You know when you just smell a fragrance that just smells like your personality encapsulated into a beautiful perfume. I love sandalwood. I don't mind a good vetiver perfume. I like rhubarb in notes as well, and I like, I like tonka depending on the situation. That's all the notes of this fragrance, really. Those are the main things. But I love a good sandalwood, creamy sandalwood scent. Fragrances like Santal blush are what I'm referring to, or maybe Sandalo by Acqua de Parma. I love a good sandalwood focused, sandalwood heavy scent. This is the main character of the fragrance, but the tonka bean is definitely sharp and piercing as well. So it's a really interesting combination of notes that not everyone will appreciate. Sample it if you can, but this is a really great signature. It's got powerful performance as well. So I know I said I got a full bottle, and some of you might be laughing at my tiny 30 ml. I don't need to compensate for anything, guys, so I don't need to get a big bottle. Only some of you will understand what I'm saying, but 30 ml is all you need for this fragrance, guys. This is so powerful. I 2 sprays from this 30 ml, over 12 hours longevity, medium to loud projection. This is a room filler with 2 sprays. As a reviewer, I'm just not going to get through 30 ml ever. So I'm very happy with this. I'm glad I do it as an option. I think it's a really interesting signature that just has this sharp, creamy sandalwood, really interesting fruity aspects from the rhubarb, super musky from that tonka bean. It's got that sweetness but a muskiness. They've really overdosed with that tonka, so you need to like a good high in concentration tonka bean fragrance to enjoy this. But I just think all the notes work really beautifully together. It's smooth, it's sharp, it's creamy, it's unique, it's powerful, a really interesting fragrance. I tried Ganymede again. I don't like that fragrance that much, but I might do a buying guide of Marc-Antoine Barrois. Let me know, guys, in the comments. Do you want to see a eyeballs every Marc-Antoine Barrois fragrance so you don't have to video, so I just go through all their fragrances? I wouldn't mind doing that because there's only 5 fragrances in the brand, so that would be very much doable for me. Acqua de Parma's Colonia Essenza. I've talked about this fragrance several times, but now I've actually acquired a full bottle for myself. I got it from my dad, actually, I think over a year ago, and I think it's a perfect signature for a mature man or an office fragrance. If you want a really nice barbershop scent that focuses on the note of neroli, which is a clean, easy to love, soapy floral note, this is the fragrance to do it for you. And the best thing about this is that it lasts a really long time. It's fresh, clean, professional. It does have a slight old school vibe to it. It has that Colonia DNA, which is the iconic line from Acqua de Parma. It has that citrus focus with the oak moss base, barbershop, fougere perfumery in here. So it's traditional, but then modernized by this really new, interesting neroli twist in here. I think this is not a new fragrance. I think this came out 10 years ago, but it smells modern. I think it kind of smells like a very classical gentleman's perfume. It's clean, citrusy, lemon-esque, mossy, neroli soapiness in here. This does neroli perfumery really nicely. I don't think they're using the highest quality variation of neroli. Neroli can get extremely expensive. It can be one of the most expensive ingredients in perfumery, but I do think they have elongated that note a lot. So neroli, as far as I know, is usually only a top note. It goes away quite quickly, but somehow they've played around with this, elongated it, so you get that neroli soapy effect from this for a long time. So if you want a mature, soapy, classical, masculine work signature, let's say, that lasts around 8 to 10 hours with a medium projection, try out Colonia Essenza. It's probably the best Colonia flanker from what I have experienced. And then lastly, Giorgio Armani's Code Parfum. So Armani Code Parfum, I've said before on the channel that it's the best concentration. I tried it in stores. I used to own the Eau de Parfum, then I lost my bottle, so I was like, okay, I might as well buy this. And I think it's a 10 out of 10. So this is an example of not overdosing tonka beans, actually making it very mellow, subdued, very smooth. It's creamy, clean, crisp tonka with some citruses in here, some lavender, some aromatics, a touch of powdery iris, not overly done. It's got some darkness in here, it's got some smoothness in here. It smells a little bit sophisticated, but still very easy to love. So it's sort of like if a slightly more mature man, let's say 25 and above, wants a signature fragrance to wear day and night all year round for a good amount of time, but you want something that's still fairly easy to understand, let's say you're a beginner, I think you'll love this fragrance. I don't think it gets boring either. It's one of the nice things about the Code line. It kind of stays classic. This is a DNA that's been around for more than 20 years now, or around 20 years, and it still stands the test of time. I still think this is really attractive. I think this will get you a lot of compliments, a lot of versatility, very good value for money. And that concludes this video, guys. Let me know, did I finally bring out some new fragrances for the channel? Let me know if you learned about new fragrances you did not know about before. Let us know in the comments down below, guys. And let us know also, what are some fragrance acquisitions that you've made recently that you think are fantastic, they're 10 out of 10, or they're at least full bottle worthy? Share with us your discoveries to the community as well in the comments down below, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our previous video on fragrances every man should keep a secret. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.